Hello everybody and welcome. It's John Pace and today we're at the Saigon Life Cafe in District 1 in Ho Chi Minh City. We're going to be doing a natural light model shoot. No LEDs today, just a silver reflector to try and fill in some of the heavy shadows and also to throw some highlights in the eyes. We're going to be using the 85mm f1.8 Sony. It's an excellent lens for portraiture. It's a very compact lens, so very easy to fly on the lightest of brushless gimbal stabilizers. It's very economical at only $550. It gets quite sharp when you stop it down a little bit, and it's got pleasing bokeh. And another lens that we're going to be using that we don't use as often as we'd like is the 16 to 35mm G Master. It's not a lens that we use it's not a lens that we use very much for portraiture or fashion, but given that we have these interesting surroundings here, I thought we might be able to do some nice environmental looks using that wide-angle lens. Anyhow, I hope you like what you see today. Don't forget, if you would like to see more episodes like this, please hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode. I'm sorry, I've got to cut that video short right here. Things didn't go exactly as planned this morning. We had originally agreed to meet at Saigon Life Cafe at around 9 in the morning. I received a text message a little earlier than that telling me that Christine, that's my model's name, would be running a little bit late, that she was already at the cafe, but her makeup artist was still doing her hair and her makeup, and that we should start shooting at around 9:30 or so. So I go to the cafe at 9:30. She's still having her hair and her makeup done, so I set the tripod and the camera up along with the Rode filmmaker kit, the wireless lav shebang, and start recording some introduction videos. So I'm moving the tripod around up and down the hall and close to the wall and farther away from the wall and doing 100 different takes. I figure I'll just keep doing this until she's ready. So about finally an hour goes by, she's ready to shoot. I explained to her that I didn't really have any precise plans for this morning shoot, that we were just going to play it by ear, but I encouraged her to come up with some of her own ideas and share them with me if she liked. She had brought a couple of changes of outfits, and I already knew that Christine was very comfortable in front of the camera. When we first started communicating with each other, I saw some of her videos on YouTube, and looked like she has a lot of confidence, and she's very comfortable in front of the camera. So we started shooting, but maybe it was miscommunication or misunderstanding between us, but it seemed like she was starting to take control of the shoot. Instead of me giving directions, she's giving me all the directions. It was just getting out of hand. I'd ask her to stand still. She'd start walking to the end of the hallway. I'd ask her to stand a little distance away from the camera. She would move in really close and do her own thing. Maybe it's the language barrier. She speaks English. I speak a little Vietnamese, but not great. So some of that could just be some miscommunication, but it seemed like she was going to be telling me what she wanted to do, not listening to my input and what kind of poses and what direction she was going to stand in. I never heard of any photographer or filmmaker online talk about what to do when your model thinks that they're the filmmaker or the photographer. So I really didn't know what to do in this situation. But we just kept working along. I figured it'll work out. But anyway, after about 30 minutes go by, and then just out of the blue, she says to me, "John, I want you to pay the makeup artist right now." Well, that kind of takes me by surprise because the makeup artist has also agreed to be my assistant during the shoot. So she's supposed to hold the reflector for me and also maybe just walk behind me slowly when I'm doing some gimbal shots with this gimbal stabilizer and walking backwards so she can make sure that I don't trip and break open my skull. And so I was like, why does she want me to pay her now? And so things just weren't working out at all. I got a really weird feeling this morning. And I just said, look, I'll pay you both right now. The shoot's over. I couldn't handle it anymore. So I paid them both, packed up my stuff, and I left. I feel kind of bad naturally because Christine is a good model. Maybe there was a communication problem, but I think there was also a trust issue when she was asking me to pay the makeup artist on the spot, and we'd only been shooting for maybe 20 or 30 minutes or something like that. So anyway, I've got a little bit of video to share with you, but not a whole lot. Apologies for the long-winded explanation, and we'll see you in the next episode.